Oh, right. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. I don't know what happened there. I really don't know what happened there. That was some kind of weird bullshit for sure. So I was just testing, and I originally did say good evening, unless you're in the UK, in which case it is the morning now, 23 minutes past 12. And this is a test stream. I'm in my movie room. I thought this was an experimental new silent live stream. I wish it was, Emily. I really did. I did get a chuckle out of your avant-garde comment before I actually sat down in front of the computer. Speaking of avant-garde live streams, go check out Emily's very incredible live stream from about a year ago. Sound here, but with echo. Yeah, that's probably going to be unavoidable, I'm assuming. It's the room, very tall. There's probably going to be a bit of an echo. Let me just check the sound again. That's not much of an echo. Come on. Hello to everyone, by the way. There's quite a lot of people in the chat. I was not expecting this. Will you do a Blu-ray collection video, Luke? What do you think? What do you think? Yeah. Oh, you had two browsers open. Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go then. No echo now, I'm assuming. Yeah. So I mean, I guess I could just show you a little. Oh, that's a bit off, isn't it? The lighting isn't great, which is something, but also my room here is like upstairs. The router is downstairs, so I wasn't sure whether I would be able to stream from this room comfortably, but it seems to be okay. But yeah, I can show you the collection there. Nice little HP Source cameo. Yeah, so I've set all this up. So yeah, it's safe to say I will probably do a collection video at some point. Some point even soon, perhaps. So let's center that a bit more. Not that it matters, this is a test stream. Surround sound. What webcam do you use? Let me see. Logitech something. I don't know. I don't know the make of it. It's just a Logitech 1080p webcam. I bought it in Norway. I miss Norway. Why is there HP sauce in your movie room? Because I just had a Rustler's cheeseburger without the cheese. So yeah, like the white shelving. Yeah, I had gone with the black shelves when I first started my Blu-ray collection. So I have one exactly like this, but in black, and I really like the black shelf. But when we moved to Surrey, I got a white pair of shelves because it just seemed to fit better with the room. And now I guess I'm very much doubling down on the whites. My desk is white. I got a white bin, white storage, and so on and so on. White is a cheap color on IKEA. Yeah, they're not IKEA shelves. In fact, these were not the cheapest colors. I think the cheapest color on Argos is like a walnut kind of brownie color, which I wasn't too fussed with. Do you live in the UK now? Yes, I've been back in the UK for about a year and a half now. Matthew Fowler says, have you heard that Spine 1000 has apparently been leaked by Target? No, I did not hear that, though it seems, from what I understand, Spine 1000 is going to be the Godzilla box set, so I'm assuming that's what the leak was. Let's see if I missed any comments while I was... no, just people talking about the no sound. Okay, cool. So I have moved a lot. Yeah. You got all black shelving, very gothic looking. Yeah, it can be, but I like black. It's a nice, wasn't even a color, it's a shade, but big fan of black. In terms of, you know, furniture and so on. But I think we just, again, the TV stand we had used to be black. The shelves we used to have in Norway on the wall were black. So I don't know why the white came into the equation when we moved to the UK, but hey, it doesn't matter if you're black or white, right? Silver Sofa says, have you seen any moon-related films, Luke? I'm glad you asked. Yesterday was the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, and so very spur of the moment, I decided to run down to my local cinema with Connie, and we went to see Apollo 11. They were showing it on the 50th anniversary, which is really cool. So yes, I have been watching one moon-related movie, which was pretty good, but I do prefer For All Mankind. I think that's something really special. I mean, they did a good job with Apollo 11, but it's kind of hard to measure up against For All Mankind, because For All Mankind uses footage from all of the moon landings. So when you go to Apollo 11, it's probably more historically important because it's the first one. But, you know, the footage all told isn't as impressive. I watched that live on TV in '69. Wow, that's a very long time ago. That must have been quite an experience. Chess or darts? Emily asking the hard questions. Ooh, I'll go with chess. I think I do like a game of chess. I'm terrible at it. I never seem to develop any kind of strategy, but darts is fun. But I like the more kind of mano kind of vibe of chess. You looking forward to Marvel Phase 4? Yes, I am. I would say I'm looking forward to the end of Phase 4 more than anything else. Yeah, Thor, Love and Thunder, cannot wait. So yeah. Is your local cinema Cineworld? Yes, that is technically my local cinema, and I do have a Cineworld Unlimited card, but I have a local cinema, which is like a 5-minute walk from where I work. So that was kind of, it's a very small kind of, I don't want to call it an art house cinema because they mainly show kind of popular stuff, but it's like older movies and stuff, which is really cool. So yeah, they were showing that, and that's where I went. Chess is the thinking man's game. Yeah, only you know, I can't seem to think a good game together when I play chess. Did you see Crawl? Says Emily. No, I don't believe it's out. Not here anyway. Across the pond, as it is for you now, Emily, on the other side of the world, in a way. Let me see. Cineworld. I have seen the trailer for it a couple of times, and it looks very good, actually. I think the big movie at the moment is Lion King, which I'm probably going to wait until the weekend to see. I don't feel like really doing anything tomorrow. I've got a day off, so I'm just going to stay at home. Yeah, wow, okay. Crawl doesn't come out until the 23rd of August over here, so I'll definitely check it out, but obviously can't do anytime soon. I've lost the comments. There we go. Stunning, I thought. Oh, Apollo 11, yeah, great sound design. Yeah, For All Mankind is probably the best moon documentary. Not that I've seen many, but for sure, it's a stunning piece of work. Matthew says, what are your thoughts on Taiwanese cinema and Czech New Wave? Also, what's your favorite film from these eras? I think you put too much faith in my movie knowledge to ask that kind of question. I think perhaps the only Taiwanese film I've seen is A Brighter Summer Day, and I don't even want to roll through that without even double checking that that's a Taiwanese film. I'm fairly certain it is Edward Yang. As far as Czech New Wave, I couldn't tell you anything really. That's definitely a complete blind spot. Let's see. I'm wondering if that film is that Alice in Wonderland film, a Czech film. I'm not sure. Definitely not part of the Czech New Wave anyway, but yeah. I'd have to look. I'm just kind of Googling shit in the middle of the stream. Fantastic Four confirmed. Yes, I'm intrigued by that. Can't say I'm too excited about it. I haven't seen any of the Fantastic Four movies, nor do I have any knowledge of the Fantastic Four characters. So for me, it's, you know, I'm sure Marvel Studios will do a very good job with it, but it's not something I'm particularly excited about. Blade confirmed. That'll be interesting for sure. I wonder if they'll go R-rated with that. Hello, Colin the dog from Spaced. Just look. Okay, I understand you're incredibly drunk right now, but just sit down, relax, because you, my friend, are going nowhere. Shit. I wanted to say I really enjoyed your Mulholland Drive reviews. Thank you. I really enjoyed making those, and I don't feel like I made much sense, but I very much enjoyed spending like an hour and change kind of discussing the film and the Criterion Blu-ray release. Yeah, that's a really great recent watch is Mulholland Drive. I still have a couple of David Lynch reviews to post. I have like I think 2 half-hour-ish reviews of Dune and Wild at Heart to post and edit. When they announced Fantastic Four and Blade, we surprised. Fantastic Four, not so much. It seemed like the writing was on the wall for that one. Blade completely surprised me. So, yeah. 10th of October, if you're a fan of Billy Connolly, they've got a screening of... oh, that's interesting. Okay. I do quite like Billy Connolly. Emily forgot about the separate release dates. Yes, it's a shame that seems to happen for some reason. Looking forward to the Matrix re-release. Yeah, that's already out, isn't it? I saw that a few days ago listed at Cineworld. The Blu-ray collector is drunk too. Okay, well, let's all get drunk, shall we? I got my vanilla Coke. Let's get plastered. Daisies is my favorite Czech New Wave film. Okay. You'd have to educate me on Czech films in general, I think. So, are you planning to do a review of Irreversible or any Gaspar No movies, or is it Noe? I don't know. No, I don't plan to do that anytime soon, unless what I can do is consult the book. Give me a second. I don't need my headphones on anymore, really. Let me just double check the audio's still decent. Yep, sounds fine. This is the advantage of streaming from my movie room. I can just grab shit like this. So we have the old 1,001 movies. Let's see if he is in the book. No, he's not. So I don't know if I'd get to any of Gaspar's movies anytime soon. And I know of Irreversible, but based on the subject matter, it doesn't seem like something I'm going to be particularly amped up to. To get to, unfortunately. Zachary, hello. Early Milos Foreman is great too. All right, well, oh, Matthew says, I wanted to say I recently saw Taste of Cherry for the second time. It became one of my favorite films. After I finished, I watched your review and thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, I'd be intrigued to revisit that film. I thought it was really great. And it is Kiarostami, right? What a great director, just based on the few films of his that I watched a couple of years ago for Asian Cinema Season. So, yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the review. Anita Bong Hit 2.0. How's it going? I was introduced to your channel by your review for Sunset. Great channel and great review. Do you mean before Sunset? Or am I just blanking on the film there? Hello, Sweden. Or do you mean hello? Yeah, hello from Sweden. Hello. Thank you for introducing the Eureka Massive Cinema to me. Wow, okay, that's pretty cool. Tonight, me and my brother watched Sunrise, and what a masterpiece it was. Oh, man, that's, yeah. And I need to resist the urge to keep doing this. Actually, where is my... Okay, I can grab this in like 2 seconds. Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans. That was really thrilling to hear that. I think this is genuinely one of the best films ever made. Phenomenal movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. I hope this is still in print and going for a decent price. I think I paid like £8 for this, and it's like one of the best buys I've ever had. I think just in general, it's an amazing, amazing film. So I'm glad you watched it and enjoyed it. Were you surprised when they announced that Mahershala Ali was going to play Blade? No, that seems like a fitting fit for sure. I mean, he's a great actor, and when they make these films, I think I don't want to say stunt casting, but when Kevin Feige announced him, it was like, please welcome to the stage, 2-time Academy Award winner. I mean, that Oscar kind of title really carries weight, when you're trying to sell a movie. And so I think that, I'm not surprised they went for him at all. But it's not just the whole Oscar thing. He's a pretty damn good actor, a great actor. So not surprised at all. I remember watching one of your really old videos, and you had a ponytail in it. So weird. Yeah. You could say that at one point it was weird for people to see me with short hair, but it is what it is. Hello, Paul. I'm interested in your wrestling background. I watched your videos for these when you post them. Were you trained at all? Why and when did you stop? Okay, that's a question. I'm just gonna roll that. I was thinking, I was seeing if I like skip ahead and answer other questions quickly, but I'll linger on that one that probably won't interest most people. But I was not trained. No, very much just on the job training. We just wrestled. We did it. We were in the community in the UK backyard wrestling, and eventually started traveling around the UK and wrestling people who are much better than me, which then makes me better. And so we all just made ourselves better year after year. We did a lot of stupid shit. We should have been more properly trained, I think. But at the same time, I think a lot of us had a real good instinct for protecting ourselves, which, you might look back at some of that footage and think maybe not, and maybe that is total bullshit. But I don't think there were ever really any serious injuries. But regardless, for the most part, we didn't really have formal training. But many of the guys I wrestled with way back when also did pro training and are now very successful now in New Japan and WWE UK NXT. So perhaps I should have gone the training route. But yeah. Why and when did you stop? I stopped because I'd done one too many kind of stupid bumps. So my back and my knees were feeling it. And also the community was winding down. We were all kind of entering our 20s, and it was either go pro or nothing, because I think the actual backyard scene, as far as what we created in the 2000s, was pretty much dying. So it was kind of, the writing was on the wall. So I stopped wrestling in 2009. I had one match on an indie show in 2010. I came back for one more match in 2011. And then in 2015, I came back for one final match. So that was it. Yeah, it's been about 4 years since I wrestled. Isaac said, I think 1,001 Movies may cover a few Czech New Wave films. Okay, very interesting. Marketa Lazarova is my favorite Czech film. That sounds familiar. I think that's in the book, actually. And The Terrorizers is my favorite Taiwanese film. It's by Edward Yang. Praying it gets a Blu-ray release. Yeah, after seeing Bright Summer Day, I'm very intrigued to see more of Edward Yang's work. The Billy Connolly thing is a £6 uplift. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Are you still into the wrestling? By the way you phrase that question, the wrestling, you might mean, am I still into wrestling myself? You can probably guess from my previous spiel, no. Wrestling in general, I'm always going to be a big fan of wrestling. At the moment, not really interested in it. I kind of dip in and out very periodically. Even when I was wrestling, I would kind of dip in and out of actually watching wrestling. But yeah, not really watching much at the minute. I saw Brock Lesnar became the champion, and I was just like, it's a good thing I'm not watching, because it just seems like it's this repeat, broken record. Certainly 100,001 does Hungarian with Bella Tar. In fact, we have This is Bellatar, right? Yeah. Satan Tango, if that's how you even pronounce it. So that's and I don't think I have talked about this yet. Maybe I have in the video I just posted, but this is my 1001 movies shelf. So you just witnessed my OCD in full effect. Did you see Hereditary last year? Yes, I did. I reviewed it. So you can check that out. Me and Connie did a review, and yeah, that's an interesting film that I think I may not want to watch again. But I think the first 2 hours of Hereditary, I was just like this. But like, just so tense and engaged and riveted and horrified. And then the last 5 minutes, I was like, this is how it's ending. And so it kind of, the ending I wasn't too hot on, but I thought Hereditary, for the most part, was pretty damn incredible. Love Kiarostami. Yep, phenomenal director. Emily says he's still doing Asian cinema. Yes, I am doing Asian cinema season 2. I keep meaning to watch Carved. Weren't you going to do that for my first Asian cinema season? Or maybe I'm just misremembering. They need to do a region 2 Kiarostami Blu-ray box set. That would be very nice. I'm really, really glad that we're getting the Coca trilogy Criterion in the UK. It looks very pricey, but I'm willing to pay that much for the Criterion, because Through the Olive Trees is such a phenomenal movie, and I can't wait to see the other 2 films. So really excited that's coming to the UK. Oh yeah, so sorry, I meant Sunrise. I typed Sunset. Yeah, okay. So I got 2 people talking about Sunrise tonight. That's pretty cool. So yes, and even Silver Sofa says Sunrise is a classic. We got a lot of Sunrise love in the stream tonight, which is very cool. That makes me happy. Films from 1927 and before are in the public domain, so anyone could find a copy. Yeah, but I think certain restorations now then carry new copyrighted laws, right? I would assume. I mean, you couldn't just take, the BFI's, wonderful restoration of Napoleon and just say, hey, it's mine because it's, 1927. I'm watching Crimson Peak from Arrow. Atonement reminds me of Hammer. Interesting. I did like Crimson Peak. That was a pretty good film. It'll interest me. What will interest you? Losing myself in the chat here. Still need to see Sunrise. I recently watched Intolerance for the first time, and that was a truly remarkable experience. I have an interesting relationship with Intolerance. I think that it's part of a fantastic film. I don't think Intolerance works for me. I mean, you got to, keep it in your mind that this is a movie that's over 100 years old, but it doesn't quite play for me. I think that the story in Intolerance set around the time of Jesus Christ, and the other one in the French Revolution, I believe, they're just 2 really big weak links. I think The Fall of Babylon and The Mother and the Law segments are brilliant, but the other 2 just don't interest me as much. And so I did watch the 2 separate movies, the 2 separate cuts that Griffith made after the release of Intolerance. I think they play better, but I mean, certainly the scale of Intolerance is unbelievable. Wesley Snipes is in the new Blade film. That's very intriguing. Hello, Blu-ray Madness. I love the sequence in Sunrise after she forgives him in the chapel and setting the switches from the city to woods, and then the cars start honking at them. Yes, that's a pretty damn incredible scene. In fact, there's a lot of emotion in that scene. That was the first time I really watched a silent film and thought, holy shit, I'm actually feeling something. You kind of assume that, if you haven't seen many silent films, that it's all very, over the top and dramatic and, acting that you're not going to really engage with on any kind of relatable level. And then you watch Sunrise and it's like, wow, I'm actually feeling this, even though Sunrise is in its own way very melodramatic and fable-esque, I think, in terms of the way its story is told. I think the acting from George O'Brien, Brian, and of course, my love, Janet Gaynor, one of my favorite actors of all time. They're just so great in that film. They really sell that relationship. What did you think of that Sean's and Cody's version of Protection with the chair shot? Oh, you mean Cody Rhodes and X-Pac, right? I was vaguely aware of that and didn't see anything about it, so I can't really comment, unfortunately. So Blade will be outside of the MCU. Okay, well, they're doing 2 different Blade movies? I'm not sure. I think you once said that if you kept up with it, you would have ended up in WWE. Yes, I think I would have. That's not really much of a... not to trash anyone or anything, but I don't think that's too much of even an arrogant comment. If I had dedicated myself to training, staying in shape, being a wrestler, and seeing the UK scene kind of getting snapped up by WWE to do the UK NXT, I think I easily would have had a shot. And I think that I still think my promo skills would have improved, and I think I would have had an easy shot of making that. As far as like the main roster of WWE, who knows? Probably not. But seeing how it's opened up now and things are a lot different, I stand by that phrase. I really dislike the forgiveness scene in Sunrise. I can understand that. I'm assuming you don't buy that scene based on the fact that he was going to kill her, right? I'm assuming that's what the case is. I'll wait for your reply on that. That was very fascinating, despite not caring about wrestling. Okay, I'm glad you stuck around. What's your thought on Bond 25 and its woes? Oh wow, whoa. Holy shit! Sorry, this has never really happened to me before, but I'm really like getting behind on the comments. It's almost like a Daisuke stream where he's just hopelessly like outnumbered by all the comments. Bond 25 and its woes. I understand Daniel Craig was injured, something like that. That's a shame, but I don't know anything else about it. I just know the cast and that they're shooting in Jamaica, which seems like a fun throwback. The whole female 007 thing, I have no problem with, because it's the title 007. I think it'd just be like a twist in the story for the movie, not necessarily a female Bond from now on. Luke, the G1 is insane this year, just as good as 2 years ago. Yeah, I think I watched the G1 in 2016, maybe 2017. It was the year that Okada and Omega wrestled for the 3rd time. That's the best wrestling event I've ever seen, that whole G1. Unbelievable. I did hear that Will Ospreay had a match with Okada, and so I'd be intrigued to check that one out for sure. Having wrestled Ospreay myself, it's always just bizarre to see him on such an amazing level and stage and stuff. And just for like British wrestling in general, he really is flying the flag. I wanted to say, for those who are interested in Eastern European films in general, there's a streaming site which you can sign up to and pay monthly, or a one-time payment, called European Films. Cheap plug. But that's interesting. I might check that out. There's an alternative now with AEW. Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to be the guy who watches wrestling every week. It's just not in my blood anymore. I don't feel like... I love wrestling. It's incredible, but yeah, I can't see myself getting into regular stuff. I did check out some of their first pay-per-view. It was pretty good. Isaac says it's a short one. Again, I might be lost there. Love that you've primed your 1001 films on separate shelves. Yes, so this is kind of like this is my YouTube shelf. And I don't mean as a background. This is the first 4 shelves are all movies I either haven't seen that are in the book, or that I have seen but haven't reviewed yet. So this is kind of like a visual representation of, you need to do this stuff. And then down below I have 2 shelves of Asian movies to watch as well. Hereditary helped me rediscover my religion. I'm not even kidding you. It was like therapy for me. That's really interesting. I'm not even sure if that would be like a positive thing. I mean, if it is for you, then that's great. But like, I'm just thinking of like the culty elements of Hereditary towards the end. But it's always great when a film can affect you positively like that. I don't work for them or anything. I just have it myself and want to spread the word for those who are interested. It's worth it. Yeah, the European films thing, that's cool. Blu-ray Madness says, "Loving your 1001 movie series." Thank you. I'm really hoping to get back to it. I've now watched 2 new movies, so I really want to get the ball rolling on that series again. Azumi is a good Japanese sword fighting film. Thanks, I've never heard of that. Have you seen Wong Kar-wai's first film, As Tears Go By? I have not even heard of it. It's his only film of his I've seen, and it was well shot and had beautiful atmosphere. It makes me excited to check out more of his work. I feel like he did do Chungking Express, right? I know for certain he did In the Mood for Love, which I had an interesting reaction to, but Chungking Express was incredible. But would definitely like to see probably all of his movies eventually. Yeah, so glad we're getting the trilogy. It's fairly affordable by Criterion standards. Yeah, that's another thing is well, I don't know actually. Isn't it like it's about 60 quid, isn't it, for the 3 movies? So I don't know. I'm not sure by Criterion standards. Maybe in the 50 off sale it might be cheaper, but yeah. Either way, I'd be able to pick it up and make sure it's a nice, pristine copy. Hello, the Late Late Horror Show. I didn't know about the Criterion Kiarostami box set. Damn it! Currently hovering over the Bergman Mega Set 2. Yes. So I haven't made a video about this yet, and you might have spotted it, but there we go. I have the Bergman box set. The Holy Grail is in my possession. I did partake in the sale, and it crippled me financially. No, I could afford it, but yeah, I got hit with a big customs sting, which was a bit of a slap in the face, but it still worked out movie to movie fairly decent, I think. Have you been out to see Midsummer yet? Yep, I saw it. Yeah, but people just chop off the logos at the beginning, so you can still see fantastic restorations for free on YouTube. Hell, I've seen blatant Criterion copies on YouTube. That's interesting. Okay, fair enough. I suppose that's one way to circumnavigate it. The Cinematheque says, "Do you ever plan on doing another silent movie marathon?" Yeah, I already have done half of it. So 3 years ago now, I did Silent Movie Marathon 3, an Odyssey of Intertitles, which I really enjoyed doing. And I was going to do 3 and 4 back to back, and I just didn't quite manage it. But fairly soon after that, I think in 2017, I did the first half of Silent Movie Marathon 4, which is going to be called A History of Silence. And so I've got all that footage, but I just haven't finished it yet. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to get to finish it in Norway. It's going to feel too disjointed. Then I moved to like Surrey, and then it just didn't feel right. So maybe this is the place now where I'll get to finish that and finally release it. But I really do want to do another silent movie marathon, or finish another silent movie marathon. Intolerance was the first silent film I got into. Loved Lillian Gish. Yeah, she's really great in Broken Blossoms, I believe is the film. The whole kind of, you know, the smiling scene where she's forcing a smile is really powerful. I think that's gotten a Blu-ray release recently, or at least is getting one. I'd be intrigued to see that film in much better quality, because when I saw it was like really bad DVD kind of quality. Secret Hangout. Oh, CP. So it looks like this is working. So I think we should roll pretty soon. So I'm gonna catch up with the comments now, and then I might be jumping back with another stream, so you can kind of hang around where me and CP are going to be doing something together. I think, if he's available. This was just a test to see if I could stream from this room. I've been dying for a full Kiarostami box set since they've all been restored in 4K, and they're doing a retrospective, the same thing. That would be fantastic. I would love to see that. You know, I really fell in love with his films a couple of years ago. I hope you review Straw Dogs soon. And yes, it's in the book. Dude, Straw Dogs, I had the Criterion like 2 years ago, and it was part of the tragic Barnes & Noble disaster. I had 6 movies from the Barnes & Noble sale for $120 plus shipping. And yeah, I think my mum binned them. Let that sink in. I had Straw Dogs, Good Morning, I think the Ozu one. Did I say Straw Dogs? Throne of Blood, there was a couple more as well. There's like 6 criteria, and she took them out of the box and took a picture of them for me. And when I came back home, they were gone, and she doesn't know where they are. So I can only assume that she binned them. So it's kind of very tragic. But I will get to Straw Dogs. What do you think of the up and coming new cuts of Apocalypse Now? I'm certainly intrigued. I'm really conflicted about it because I have it here somewhere. Where is it? There it is. I have the collector's edition, so I didn't even know which cut to watch to begin with. Now I don't know whether I should watch it on the big screen for the first time, but being the final cut, is that going to be like, I don't know. It's tricky. Get back into wrestling with a film fan gimmick. Do promos about silent films and avant-garde cinema. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe in some alternate multiverse. Have you got around to watching LA Confidential yet? Nope, but it's on the shelf. What do you think about the ending? The Avengers Endgame, as the original ending had Thanos decapitating Captain America, but they changed it. I don't know. I'd have to verify that that's legit before even commenting on it, but I'm glad it didn't happen either way. Are you a fan of UFC? I am not. I watched some of the first UFC events, like 1, 2, and 3. When I was a kid, my dad used to get them in on video. But yeah, the Osprey match was amazing last night with Okada. The Ishii matches, well, Ishii's just incredible. You should watch the one. Oh, wow. Ishii versus Moxley. I do really want to check that out. Was referring to Satan Tango with my short one comment. Okay. Sorry. That is a fairly funny comment. They also do a Soviet one as well. Oh, interesting. Thank you for the information on the streaming stuff, Matthew. Hello, Nathan Walker. Are you anticipating Scorsese's upcoming film, The Irishman? Yes, very much so. Big Joe Pesci fan. That alone has got me intrigued. But I think that from what I've heard about the visual effects they're doing, I'm intrigued to see if they pull that off. What freaks people out more is when I tell them, Hereditary helped me find my religion. I'm a gay man as well, and no need to worry, I'm Lutheran. Okay. Yeah, that's quite an interesting take or reaction from Hereditary, I think. But if it works for you, that's great. Looking forward to Irishman. You should grow a beard. I can't. It is impossible for me to do so. Yes, it would make me look thinner, but it's literally impossible. I've got the Johnny Depp syndrome. It doesn't grow anywhere here, really, with that just fluff. You have the Bergman box set. It's a lovely thing. Yes, worried about the customs sting. Bit of a no-brainer despite the bankruptcy. Yeah, it's well worth it. It's a phenomenal set. I have a movie to suggest for you that's free on YouTube. 9 Lives from 1957, voted the best Norwegian movie ever made. Wow, that's pretty interesting. I will actually note that down, so thank you. I took a mini hiatus from the Bergman box halfway through and absolutely love it, but it was kind of depressing my life watching nothing but Bergman. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to power through the whole set at once. That's, it's something to kind of chip away at, I think, over time. The Wind is an amazing film with Lillian Gish. Yes, I'm kind of waiting for like one of these like amazing kind of restorations. Like Napoleon was one where dying to see that movie, and I just kept waiting for something to happen, and it did, and I got to see it in the cinema, all restored, incredible. So I'm kind of hoping for that with The Wind. I really want to see The Wind, but I'm kind of again holding off and maybe a better kind of transfer or whatever. What do you do as a job? I work in retail. Why bother? Ironically, the first silent film I saw was Modern Times, which was the end of the silent era, if I'm not mistaken. It was actually after the silent era, Modern Times. Was it? Wait, no, which is, yeah, City Lights was at the end. Modern Times was like way after. Chaplin kind of really held on to the last vestiges of silent cinema. So that was 36. And the silent era really ended at 27, 28. And I guess by 30, it really, at least in America, it kind of fully transitioned over to sound movies. But yeah. What a tragedy. Poor Criterions. I know. We searched the place up and down, and it just never, they never materialized. They're gone. So. Are you getting the Arrow set of Old Boy, which is out next month? No, I have the plain archive release of Old Boy, so I'm pretty content with that. But I'm glad that it's getting a UK release like that. Pour one out for the Criterions, yeah. What's your favorite duo of directors through cinema history? Interesting. I don't know, really. I'm trying to think. It might be a bit of a cheat to say Powell and Pressburger because I've only seen one of their films, but A Matter of Life and Death is one of my all-time favorite movies, so I'm gonna have to go with that, I think. But I do love the Coen brothers. Favorite Bogart movie? Um, Unfortunately, I'd have to answer Casablanca for that one. Um, I did really enjoy him in To Have and Have Not, but I've got a couple of Bogart and Bacall movies. So and I also have The Treasure of Sierra Madre, which I haven't seen. So looking forward to seeing more of Bogart. Oh no, In a Lonely Place was really good actually. I don't know, probably Casablanca at the minute. A Bergman box set marathon on the horizon, perhaps. No, I have too many things going on YouTube wise. I don't want to bog myself down with that. I'd love to do it if I had all the free time in the world, but I don't know. I don't want to kind of. I always get kind of wrapped up in doing series, and it just I end up kind of overwhelming myself. So, have you seen the Soviet films? No, I have not seen those. How is your massive cinema collection coming along? It's 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 slowed down a bit. I think I have just over 150 massive cinema releases, but I definitely am not pursuing that collection as militantly as I was a few years ago. But yeah, still picking up releases here and there. Do you think movies over, say, 2 hours long should have an intermission in the cinema? No, I don't think so. Avengers Endgame played perfectly fine as 3 hours, I think, for me. So uh, maybe longer than 3 hours. I think maybe an intermission would be interesting and maybe worth considering. But otherwise, not so much. I don't think. I think 2 hours, even 3 hours, depends on the movie. But I'm fine with like 3 hours in the cinema. What were you doing in Norway? My fiance is Norwegian, and so I lived there with her for about 5 years. Oh, your ancestors came from there. That's interesting. Cool. Um, uh, well, let me just. My bladder. So okay, all right, okay. The Kane Mutiny is a great Bogart movie. I have that movie. I have not seen it. Have you seen Burning and Ash is the Purest White? No, but I did buy Burning a couple of weeks ago. I'm really looking forward to that. Sia Blu-ray collector, thank you for popping in. I'm winding this down now. I'm rushing to finish all the questions. Do you like the Lord of the Rings films? Yes, I reviewed them. We watched all 3 extended cuts in a row, so I do have a video up on that. It's part of the Epic Film Challenge too. Did you watch Chernobyl? No, I didn't. I've heard very good things. Yes, I do know about the High Noon release, and I'm very intrigued about that one. The restoration looks incredible. Hello, JR62, first time here. Matter of Life and Death is wonderful. You also need to see The Red Shoes and The Life and Death of Colonel Blimp. Yeah, I have Black Narcissus on Blu-ray, but I am very much aware of those other 2 movies. I want to pick up the new Coen releases of Keaton films, but contemplating whether or not the upgrade is necessary from the old Kinos. Honestly, I really love the Kino releases. I really do. I have one of the. No, I don't. I don't have the Coen releases. What am I talking about? I have one of the Kino re-releases, but I haven't looked into that too much. Perhaps you are getting much better transfers, but honestly, I think that even imperfections, going along with it, the Kino releases, what I have all of them, I think are wonderful. Turn your super chat on, you fraud. Also, imagine I spelled. Yeah, I don't even know what super chat is. Well, I vaguely know what it is, but yeah. Have you seen True Detective? I have not. This is a great stream. Silent Era and WWE. We'll be back for more streams. Have a great day and night. Thank you very much. Anita Bong hit 2.0. Yeah, so that's it. I'm going to end the stream there. Thank you very much for tuning in. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad I can stream from this room because if I want to talk about something, I can just run and grab the Blu-ray or whatever, and a bit more of an interesting backdrop. So thank you all for joining. I was not expecting that many at this point in time at 1 o'clock in the morning, but I may be back very shortly with a stream with CP. Thanks for supporting Night Owls. Yeah, very much a night owl myself, and I am working a lot of late nights, so you might see a lot more of these streams perhaps. So that'd be fun to do. Yes, everyone's saying good night. Cool stream. Yes. All right. Nice one, guys. Thank you. I'll see you soon. Perhaps very soon, if not at some point after that. So cheers.